After her break into the music scene in 2005, the world has watched Rihanna grow into one of the most successful women on the planet. But her rise to success was anything but easy. This superstar has faced her fair share of hardships. Here is Rihanna's tragic real-life story. Rihanna remembers growing up years in Barbados as being, in her words, just a little island girl riding bikes, running around barefoot, and flying kites in the cemetery. But her childhood home wasn't as free. Her father's drinking problems would lead to some extremely tense moments. She told Rolling Stone in 2011, Fridays would be scary because he would come home drunk, he'd get paid, and half of it would go toward alcohol. He'd walk in the door, and it was all eyes on him. The future pop star could feel the temperature in the house go up whenever domestic violence was around the corner. Previously telling ABC News, "My parents had a very abusive relationship. My dad was the abuser. He hit her on numerous accounts. I don't want to say normal, but it wasn't a surprise when it happened. She never went to the hospital. Domestic violence is not something that people want anybody to know." Though her mother was the primary victim of her father's outbursts, Rihanna recalled one time in particular when she was punished for wanting to stay at the beach 10 minutes longer. She told Rolling Stone, "He slapped me so hard, I ran home with his handprint on me. I couldn't believe it. My mother saw my face, how traumatized I was. You know how, when you know you did something wrong and you deserve to get beat? This was out of nowhere." Rihanna is a musician first, but she's a powerful businesswoman as well. As noted by Rolling Stone, she's had huge endorsement deals in addition to her own perfumes, cosmetics, and fashion lines. Her upbringing as the oldest child in the family made her staunchly independent, and her father helped mold her into the woman she would become. She told Rolling Stone, "He taught me how to fish, how to swim, how to run, how to ride. He really toughened me up." When she was young, Rihanna's father sold clothes on the street or out of his car to make a living. Whether through want or necessity, she would sometimes join him. In a 2011 interview with The Sun, her father, Ronald Fenty, said, "She used to sell stuff on the side of the street like I did. She'd come outside of the store and put up a rack and sell hats and belts and scarves. She would also buy sweets, put them in packages, and take them to school to sell to her friends for a profit." It was that entrepreneurial spirit that had Rihanna's father thinking she would end up in business. And in the end, he was right. Addiction sadly took a substantial toll on this celeb's early life when drugs planted their hooks in Rihanna's father and ran havoc through her family home. On Oprah's next chapter, she tearfully told Oprah Winfrey that her family broke up because of his addiction. According to The Mirror, her dad Ronald bought drugs even when money and food in the house were low. Rihanna admitted, "Even as a toddler, I learned that my mom and dad would argue when there was foil paper in the ashtray." When she was 9 years old, Rihanna walked in on her dad smoking crack. According to Rolling Stone, Ronald admitted to The Sun that he did in fact have a drug problem and that Rihanna had seen him take drugs in their house. He explained, "She was just a little kid and it made her look at me and other things differently. Around the same time, we were walking down the street with the kids and there was a guy sleeping on the sidewalk. Her mother said to Rihanna, 'Your dad is going to end up like that.' I did not want my children to see me sleeping on the sidewalk, so I started making the changes." Rihanna's father would eventually beat his addiction, but it cost him his marriage and damaged his relationship with his children. He said, "I had to give up drugs for my family. I still kind of lost them." Rihanna is loved and admired around the world, but she didn't always feel loved as a child in Barbados. Her father was a descendant of a poor Irish community, the members of which were often referred to with derogatory names. Rihanna's last name, Fenty, was a common surname for this group of people. The future singer-songwriter also had a light complexion, and this combination led to teasing in school. In a 2009 interview with Allure, Rihanna explained, "I was cultured in a very black way, but when I got to school, I'm being called white. They would look at me and they would curse me out. I didn't understand." The future celeb didn't take it lightly, and she fought back, sometimes with her fists. She told Glamour, "I got teased my entire school life. What they were picking on, I don't even understand. It was my skin color. Then when I got older, it was about my breasts." The constant bullying she faced, however, helped shape her and prepare her for a life in the limelight, a life that can be cruel and unforgiving. She told Harper's Bazaar in 2015, "This thick skin has been developing since my first day at school. It didn't happen after fame. I couldn't survive fame if I didn't already have it. So sometimes the toughest thing in life is to be vulnerable."
I wanted to do everything my way, and it's kind of like a bad girl attitude. I got a little rebellious, I got a little attitude.
With Rihanna's father battling his own demons and the fights at home increasing, the future celeb's mental health understandably suffered. Though the trouble at home was kept private, the young Rihanna began to separate herself from the other kids at school. It was around this time that the future singer's grades slipped along with her health. Rihanna's mother, Monica, revealed to Rolling Stone she had always been a straight-A student, but she started to struggle. She would suffer from these terrible headaches. She had to get CT scans. Rihanna's headaches went from age 8 to 14, but the doctors had no answers for the excruciating migraine-like attacks. Initially, they believed she may have a tumor of some sort. However, the test results always came back negative. It wasn't until her parents separated and the fighting stopped that the headaches finally went away. Rihanna believes that the pain was caused by the emotional stress of the arguing and domestic abuse. In February 2009, the world was rocked by reports that Chris Brown had abused then-girlfriend Rihanna. TMZ later released photos of her battered face, and the abused singer became fodder for nearly every news outlet in the US, causing Rihanna to retreat from the public eye for months. She told ABC News, "When I realized that my selfish decision for love could result in some young girl getting killed, I could not be easy with that part. I couldn't be held responsible for telling them, go back." In her isolation, however, she began to worry about Brown, despite her being the victim. She later explained to ABC News, "If I feel this depressed, then what is he going through? I had to protect him. I thought that I had to let him know, don't do anything crazy, like just hang in there. The whole world hates him now, his fans, his career, he lost me. I just need to let him know, don't do anything stupid." Eventually, the two reunited and Rihanna faced criticism for it. For her part, she was disappointed because she'd made a promise to her younger self that she was, quote, never going to date somebody like her dad. As E! News reported, she wasn't proud of her choice, but she had been overpowered by love.
They're entitled to feel angry because it wasn't a good thing that happened.
But you have forgiven him.
But I have.
The pair split once again in 2013. If you or someone you know is struggling with domestic abuse, please call or chat online with the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. Many high-profile celebrities contend with rumors, from exaggerated tales to outright lies. For Rihanna, it seems that every single celebrity she talks to becomes the target of a reported relationship. While working on a Rolling Stone cover story, Rihanna happened to be in the same restaurant as Colin Farrell, someone she'd been rumored to be sending salacious texts. As Farrell left the restaurant, he stopped by the singer's table and jokingly said to her, "Our friends outside are gonna get some good mileage out of this. We're gonna be texting each other all night." The actor was right. The next morning, several tabloids suggested the two celebs ate dinner together and were romantically linked. To make matters worse, rumors have sometimes come from within. After Rihanna was assaulted by Chris Brown, her father sold information to the press. Rihanna later told Vogue in 2011, "That was the first time. My dad went to the press and just told them a bunch of lies, because he hadn't talked to me after that whole thing. He never called to find out how I was doing, if I was alive, nothing. He went straight to the press and got a check." That wouldn't be the last time either, as Ronald Fenty would later sell more gossip on his famous daughter. Rihanna wondered, "It really makes me question what I have become to my father. Like, what do I even mean to him?" After her challenges with Chris Brown, Rihanna found that she was spiraling into a dark place. She recalled on Oprah's Next Chapter that she was resentful, angry, and struggling to overcome it all. When asked how she finally got through it, Rihanna said, "I repaired my relationship with Dad." The singer had grown apart from her father after her parents' divorce years earlier.
I couldn't separate him as a husband from him as a father. I felt like he was a bad husband, he was a bad father.
After the reconciliation, however, Rihanna and Ronald continued butting heads. In some cases, it wasn't personal, it was business. According to CNN, Rihanna discovered that her father and his business partner were allegedly using her name and brand, Fenty, to earn money. The singer and her representatives repeatedly asked the pair to stop. When that failed, they filed a lawsuit. According to the 2019 suit, Rihanna's father reportedly launched a production and talent company called Fenty Entertainment in 2017 and negotiated 15 unauthorized Rihanna shows, all totaling nearly $15.5 million. He even reportedly attempted to use the Fenty brand to register a line of resort hotels. MSN reports that the case would be moving to a jury trial in June 2020. Rihanna was exposed to things in life much earlier than most. By the time the singer-songwriter was 16 years old, her father had moved out and her mother had returned to work to support the family. This left the younger teenager at home to look after her younger brother. Though it caused Rihanna to grow up quickly, she looks back at these times fondly, telling Elle that it was, quote, probably the best summer she ever had. But it was more than one summer that she would act as caregiver. While Rihanna takes on much of this willingly, like gifting her mother a massive mansion, some of it has been imposed upon her. In 2008, she was forced to send her father home from her US tour for drunken behavior. According to the Daily Mail, in order to save her father from going to jail for a California arrest, Rihanna agreed to pay $58,000 for him to enter a Malibu rehab program in 2013. And while speaking with Rolling Stone, Rihanna revealed that her dad once sent her a text with nothing but prices for furniture that he wanted to buy for his house. She explained, "It's fine, I'll give my father anything. It's not something that's hard for me to help him with. It's just like, damn, Dad. Hi." Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite celebs are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.